So let's get into it. So I'm going to show you two examples, a not very good low quality one, and I'll show you a really high quality one that would be very difficult to detect. But there is a really simple solution to actually mitigate all this, and we'll show that here right away. So a couple different things is obviously the spelling is wrong. In this sample, it's lowercase j, landlord spelled wrong. You'll notice the coloring, they've photoshopped on top of it. You've got unnecessary space here, and then they kind of dropped over. Like this is pretty straightforward and obvious. Next one, so yeah, here we go. One thing to note, if you notice on e-transfers, this is just kind of an observation I've seen over time, is I think when Interact first came out with these, they defaulted to just using the legal name on the bank account, and that's why you'll see it's not as common now, but when they first came out, you'd see the name of the person sending or receiving the Interact e-transfer all in capital letters. And I think that was just kind of how they formatted and standardized it. But now it's a lot more easy, and most banks allow you to go in and edit, and you can put any display name you want on your e-transfer. So if you do see a fully capital letters, it might be an indication that a higher chance that you're getting, you're seeing accurate information, which is a good sign. But definitely, if it's lowercase or if it's something else, then you've known the person on the other side sending the e-transfer has changed their name. So something to be aware of. Down here, number 6.2, what we're missing here is there should be a reference or a confirmation number. Okay, so now I'll show you a high quality fake. So this is a fake one I've done up, and it's very difficult to tell. All the formatting is the same. I did obviously change the names here just for demonstration purposes, but the rest of it is pretty much bang on. And I'll show you how easy it is to do this. There is one thing here that I didn't change or I made a mistake on, and it's down here on the very bottom in the fine print. The bank account that the Interact e-transfer sender uses will be displayed here. So the legal name for TD Bank is actually TD Canada Trust. So you'd have to be kind of familiar with the legal names of the banks, and that's what we'll display down here. And that's also kind of a pro tip because then you know what bank they're using as well. So if you're doing your tenant screening, and they have sent, say, some not pay stubs, but let's say they decide to share with you bank statements, and they've also provided some e-transfers because you're trying to validate the rent being paid. You can then kind of cross-reference. Hopefully, the bank statements are at the same bank as what's stated down here in the e-transfer. So let's go into the next one. So here's kind of the highlights of what I've changed. So in this case, the date's been changed, the amount's been changed. It went from being paying on time to now it's actually paid in the middle of the month. There's your confirmation number, all that stuff's back. And then here's the full legal name for the bank, TD Canada Trust. But I'm going to actually do a video for you guys because I'll show you how easy it is to fake this. And it's going to be kind of like, it's just good. It's good to be aware of it. So this is John's the tenant. He's going to change this to send a fake e-transfer to Jane, landlord. So Mike, best friend, is now going to be from John. That's going to be from John tenant. So now we're going to say Jane, landlord. It's going to be jane.landlord@gmail.com. Boom. That's changed now. Hi, Jane, landlord. From John tenant. You know, he sent rent for, let's show he can afford a lot. So he's paying, last month's rent was paying, I don't know, let's say 26.50. There you go. Oh, let's put a comma in there, keep it consistent. He's going to change the message now. It's going to be rent for January. Thank you, Jane, landlord. You're the best. Add a little bit of emotional play there. Why not? But you know what? I also want them to know what bank I'm using. So I'm going to go, I am now at, I don't know, CIBC, for example. Now, last thing, let's take a look here and change is, oh, I paid my rent late. Don't want to do that. So let me just make sure I go, oh, you know what? That was good. Paid it December 27th. Why not? A little bit long there, but it did take me quite a while to do this. So a bit of a context is if you're going through and you're validating or doing your due diligence on a prospective tenant, you're looking at their credit score and all the information along, and it's not great, it's not bad either. And then this would be definitely a good time then to get additional documentation to validate they've paid rent on time. I still would recommend, say, in using Interact e-transfer confirmation emails. But what you do want to be asking for is at least at a minimum of 6 months, ideally get 1 year or 12 months worth of email confirmations. When I was going through and building this documentation out, it took me quite a while. I kept forgetting small things. I didn't change the subject when I was trying to get my example just right. So it would take a lot of effort for someone to go through and do a full 12 months worth and hopefully not make a mistake. So to your advantage, it would be asking for more. And plus, with most people being honest, you do get a lot of really good information out of the Interact email confirmations. You get when the rent was paid, who was paid to, and how, of course, how much the rent was paid. And then that should be a ton of information that you can cross-reference when you do your due diligence. Here's the big pro tip I'm really excited for is a common theme going back again is you got to verify these emails directly from the source. And they come with this lovely thing here. It says view in browser. You need to be clicking on this link and that will redirect you to the original email directly from Interact. So here's the example right here. This is the most important thing right here. This exact beginning of this URL has to start with exactly what I've got highlighted in blue here, which is https://etransfer.interact.ca. The rest of it after that, you don't need to worry about. That's going to be different and unique to every Interact e-transfer. And so the one that you're seeing here right now is actually one of mine. This is one of my tenants that's paid rent. So that's why I've blurred out some of their information. But this is your bulletproof way to ensure authenticity of the Interact e-transfer.